Hey y'all, so we're gonna do something today I like to call creating sample palettes with the drum rack in Ableton. So if you're familiar with the drum rack, there's often presets that are like full drum kits for drum pad, finger drumming type stuff. Um, so I actually like using the drums for obviously that, but as well, I do this thing called sample paletting, where I audition samples of a specific instrument impulse. So, for example, today I'm doing toms. This is something that lets me be much faster in studio sessions. We've all been in that situation right here, you know? You're just cycling through sounds, and none of them are really, as they say, hitting in the way you'd like them to. So, what I recommend you do in this circumstance is get out a drum rack, blank drum rack from Ableton in the drum section. What you're going to do after that is start going through, your samples as you normally would, and find all the samples of a same instrument that are really speaking to you. So, you know, while you're searching, keep in mind, like, don't make them all the same type of tom if you're doing toms. I'm working on toms right now. And with this, I can essentially create this micro palette of samples as opposed to going through every sample in my sample library that has these hand-selected by me ideas of what type of toms I want to be using in my projects. Now, doing this once can be a massive time saver for a few reasons. The first big thing is, if you're working on a track and you're like, oh, I need some toms in here, boom, you open this up and you already have your favorite toms laid out instead of worrying about like sifting through the entire library, right? But if you take this into a more professional setting, like, oh, I'm working on a production for a client and they are a little more time cautious than others, you're going to pull this out and have it ready to go when they say, oh, I want some toms, or, oh, I want a different snare, and you have a rack with your favorite snares ready to go, and you're not flipping through 500 to 1,000 snares or something like that. It gets to the point, and it gets you moving much faster. And at the end of the day, a lot of people can mix and master, right? But what you're going to get paid for is how efficiently you can do it. And the people who charge more are just super efficient with it. They have their templates, everything's laid out, and they know exactly what they're going for. So if you're working on building beats, like custom beats for people in Ableton, and you do it by session, by hour, this is something, unless you're trying to, ring somebody out, which I don't recommend doing if you're, trying to maintain relationships, being able to just be like, oh, this needs toms. Oh, this needs a different snare. Let me go find my favorite ones and just have it ready to go and pull it out. And then you can kind of workshop a smaller palette. It'll go a long way